So we're going to talk a little bit about performance tips, what to do to get the most out of your lamp. So the first thing would be using only acceptable fuels, Aladdin lamp oil, kerosene being the best options. One thing when you're lighting it, to make sure that you let your flame go the entire way around your wick before you set the gallery on top. The 20-minute warm-up time, very important to remember that so that you don't crack your chimney, to prevent those black spots from showing up on your mantle. Using the high output chimneys above 3,000 feet of elevation, or if you want to get at that extra brightness, you're at sea level, you can still use the high output chimney for that. Keeping a clean wick is really important, so remembering every time you fill it with fuel to clean the top of the wick, or anytime there's any stray threads or you're just not getting a good light out of it, it's good to go ahead and clean the wick again. And keeping all of the parts clean, so your burner, the flame spreader, anything with the little holes that can get clogged up with that carbon buildup is blocking the air travel through the burner, through the flame spreader. So keeping those clean is an important step as well. Safety, always important. So our clearance around our lamp, 36 inches above the chimney and 18 inches around. So you don't want to have any combustibles within that range to keep it safe. Never leave the lamp unattended. So if you have it on, make sure you extinguish it properly before you leave the room. Otherwise, you don't know what could happen while you're gone. There could be a draft in the room. It's going to start to heat up more and more as you go. Next thing you know, you've got a runaway coming out the chimney. Remembering that the lamp is extremely hot. So I extinguished it, but yet the burner, the gallery, all those metal pieces are still going to be really hot just a few minutes after. So you got to give it time to cool down. Make sure you don't touch any part of it. When you carry your lamp, it's important to carry it by the font. So if you have a table lamp, you can carry it underneath here. If you've got a shelf lamp, carry it around here. You never want to pick it up by the burner because the burner could come unattached from the font. Remember to always operate in well-ventilated areas. The fresh oxygen is needed for proper burning. You may have to open a door or window, but make sure you keep it out of a draft if you do that. It's important that your lamp is at room temperature as well. You don't want to light a really cold lamp. If you have a really cold chimney or font, changing the temperature and heating it up too quickly could cause it to crack. And you always want to make sure that you have all of the parts in place when you're operating it. If you don't have the outer wick tube or the chimney, then the lamp could become overheated. Cleaning, we talked about keeping all the parts clean. So flame spreader, outer wick tube, burner basket. Sometimes you can just simply blow out the carbon or dirt particles. You can also soak it in laundry detergent or a mixture of that in water. So if you buy an old lamp and you got it on eBay or you found it at a garage sale or something, it's very old, it still has the old wick in there, it's completely stuck and all gummed up. The best way to get that old wick out to replace it would be to take the entire burner and just soak it in kerosene. Let it sit for 24 or 48 hours to try to loosen it and get it to move out. You don't want to try to rip the wick out because that can strip the gears on the inside, so you want to be as careful as possible. You may need to actually cut the wick out. You can also use a WD-40, may help as well. And for chimneys and glass fonts, soaking with soap and water is fine, but you want to make sure that you completely dry them before you would add any fuel. You don't want any moisture mixing with the fuel. So about every 12 to 15 burning hours or every time you fill it with fuel is a good idea.